Next in Line podcast, where we are helping to prepare you for whatever is next in line. As always, I'm your host, Chance Pitts, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in to this podcast. Guys, first and foremost, thank you to everyone who has subscribed to, shared, or reviewed Next in Line development on Spotify. We had a little launch yesterday on all our social media platforms. We got several followers coming in, several people keeping up with the podcast. I know our views and listens jumped quite a bit on that. So thank y'all so much for everybody that's sharing and putting the word out and helping us grow this movement. Guys, as always, if you want to check out our daily content, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Next in Line Development. Guys, also check us out on our website to see what we have going and some of the things that we offer. That's nextinlinedevelopment.com. And guys, as always, for this episode and every other one that we have, if you are getting some value out of this, if you think you know somebody that might benefit from the things that we are saying here, make sure that you're sharing them. Make sure that you're kicking this out and helping us spread the word and grow the movement. I'd like to reach as many people as we can and move this thing in a very positive direction through 2022. So thank y'all for all that. Guys, so for the discussion today, I've got a very important topic that I think we need to discuss as we roll into 2022. I know we're already a few days in, but this is definitely something that will move you in the right direction. Now, this topic might rub some people the wrong way. I'll go ahead and tell you that. But I encourage you to listen, and I encourage you to take the time to really dig into what is being said. Remove your emotions from it and apply logic to these situations that we are bringing up and the topics that we are discussing. So with that, guys, I want to talk to y'all today about 5 ways that you can leave victim mentality in 2021. Let's get right into it. So first off, take ownership of the things in your life that are not the way that you want them. The reason this is number 1 is because it ties into all other items on the list. It is the root for your potential success in 2022. Realize that everything that happens to you is not necessarily your fault, but it is your responsibility to fix. Nobody is going to come along and rescue you, and nobody else is going to really, at the end of the day, care what is going on in your life because they have things going on as well. You might have friends that dive into the comments section whenever you post something on Facebook or Instagram or whatever else it is, and they try to pander to your sensitivity and make you feel better about whatever situation you're in, or they try to relate to you. But guys, at the end of the day, that is just a whole bunch of talk, and there is no true action coming from what is going on. Now, also with that, you've got to realize that some days people are just going to try to piss you off. They're going to come at you with every intention of just getting under your skin. And if you let them achieve that, if you let them get control of you emotionally, you are letting them own and occupy space in your brain. Now, if you are taking ownership, like we talked about for this first principle, if you are taking ownership, then you are in control of your thoughts, your emotions, and actions at every single turn. Guys, you cannot let people into your head and let them turn you into a victim of what they are trying to do to you. For the ownership topic, if you would like a good resource for that, guys, I recommend Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. I actually got to listen to Leif come talk to a company that I was with, and he talked about this extreme ownership, and it's fantastic. Guys, this is a leadership topic, but it can be used throughout any aspect of your life. Your family, your friends, your organizations you're a part of, and definitely your career, for taking ownership of the things that aren't the way you need them to be and accepting responsibility so that you can move forward in a very productive way. It's got several different strategies within it. Cannot recommend Extreme Ownership enough. So guys, what can lack of ownership look like in your daily life? If you're the person that shows up to work on Monday and you're pissed off at the world, you hate your job, you're always trying to leave early, you're living for the weekend, can't wait till Friday, or if you've got the phrase, "that's not my job," as part of your vocabulary, then you're not in control of your career. You're not in control of your job and the separation it takes to have a good work-life balance. It is your responsibility to take ownership of that. If your house is an absolute wreck, if you've got dishes piled up in the sink, you've got laundry thrown across various rooms, You've got crap spread all through your yard's unkept, unmowed, unorganized. Then, guys, you're not taking ownership of your personal property there that you should be taking pride in. If you're drinking an excessive amount on the weekends, or during the week for that matter, if you're not taking control of your health, if you're unhealthy mentally or physically, and you're not happy at what you're seeing in the mirror, then guys, you aren't taking ownership or responsibility of your health. Now, that's not me trying to be a jerk. I'm just trying to be honest. Guys, I have dealt with these situations myself. On the work side of things, I've walked into several different messes that I've created, but also situations that were that way before I ever got involved. But at the end of the day, if I want my work, my career to go the way I want it to go, if I want to have a place that I don't hate going into every single Monday, every single morning, and I can't wait to get away from on Friday, then I've got to grab a hold of that and take ownership so that I can have the work-life balance that I want. I've dealt with that in past jobs. I'm dealing with it a little bit in my current job. I'll be honest with you. But it's all things that we have to work hard to get a hold of. Now, in my personal life, I've had the same things. Whenever we had the big freeze down here in Texas this past year, and nobody knew what was going to happen because we lost power for several days, a lot of different people went through the same situation we did, in which we were in a rent house and the pipes froze and then burst whenever they defrosted, and we had water just draining all through our house. We flooded out this rental house. Now, I can't be upset with the rental company, and I can't be upset with the plumbers or anybody like that, because everyone in our area was dealing with the same exact thing. There was people all across Texas dealing with this. But I knew help would not come for a couple of weeks. So what did I do? I ran to Home Depot, and I got whatever I could find to try to splice lines together. Guys, I had a pressure gauge in line splicing a line together, patching a hole. I had water heater hoses patching holes in our lines. I had different size cutoff valves running from 3/4 to 1-inch pipe. We weren't worried about pressure changes or anything like that. We were just trying to get the water back on. And at the end of the day, what did we have? We had running water, and we were able to get back to some sort of normal reality so that we could operate and function like we would in an ordinary situation. Guys, along with that, this past year, I've talked about it a few times, but I went through a huge mental and physical health transformation. I became so much more mentally tough, so much more stable in my beliefs and what I had going for me mentally. I feel smarter. I react to things better. I work with a better amount of positivity every single day, and I try to spread that to people as well. But guys, I also lost 50 pounds, and I'm training for ultra marathons now. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life, because I decided to take ownership. So no matter what it is, you have to take ownership of your situation in 2022. So moving on to number 2, guys, you have to get stronger, smarter, and in better position financially in 2022. So we all know that everything in our lives is tied together, whether it's physical fitness, mental or spiritual fitness, or even down the road to our financial fitness. Guys, if you're lacking in one of these areas, there's a big chance that you're lacking in other areas as well. Because if you're willing to cut corners in one thing, then you're probably willing to cut corners on other fronts as well. How we do one thing is how we do every single thing that we do. So answer this question for me. If you are physically capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to because you have trained and you have prepared yourself for any situation coming your way physically, and if you're smart enough to conquer any situation that life throws at your way because you are in a good state of mind, you are thinking positive, and you are reacting to things using logic and common sense and not emotion. And then last, if you're financially prepared by having your affairs in order, maybe you've got a safety net, but you've got a plan for growth as well in other sources of income, multiple streams of income, then guys, How could anybody throw something at you in this world that would have you unprepared and make you a victim in 2022? So what you have to do is you have to plan your work, and you have to work your plan so that you can get stronger, smarter, and into a better position financially for 2022. Now, number 3, don't expect things that you have not earned yet. Just because you want something and just because you think that you deserve it or you're owed something doesn't mean that you really are, guys. Ask yourself this question. Have you put in the work and have you put in the time to earn those things yet? I'll use this podcast and this movement as an example. If somebody came along, Joe Rogan or whoever these other great podcasters are, and they gave me a gift of 1 million followers somehow, they just bestowed it upon me, it wouldn't be sustainable. It would not be something that I could maintain. I would lose almost all of them because I had not earned that level of followers yet. It'd be an awesome experience, and it'd be a huge, huge thing for the movement, but I don't have 1 million follower content yet. It's kind of like training for a triathlon, an ultra marathon, even a 5K, whatever you've got going on in your life that you're really wanting to work towards, but you're not there yet. You have to come up with a plan. You have to put that plan into action, and you have to prepare yourself. Because if you haven't laid the foundation and you haven't worked towards the things that you want, you're going to crash and burn. Now, there's a million examples of this, and a couple of prime examples. Every time you see somebody that comes in and wins the lottery, that doesn't have any idea what they're doing with money, they just finally get lucky after 20 years of buying lottery tickets. They end up broke 2 months later after they win their $100 million or whatever it is, or they end up broke a few years later because they have no idea how to manage money. They have had no training. They have laid no foundation for being successful with that amount of responsibility and that amount of money. We see the same things with musicians these days that drop a song that gets real popular on whatever media platform, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We see these people drop a song, it becomes a huge hit, and then shortly after they disappear off the face of the earth. And that's because they haven't prepared for that level of success. They haven't honed their craft to a point of being successful at that level and maintaining it. So number 3, guys, don't expect things that you have not earned yet. And then number 4, give other people the gift of positivity. We all know from several conversations that we have, and then just for everyday life, positivity is a very contagious thing, and it spreads like wildfire through people that put it out there. Guys, if you can foster it in one area of your life, then you can have it in all areas of your life. Just like we've talked about with physical fitness being a good way to get into this positivity and bringing your mindset to a positive place. If you are happier when you look in the mirror because you're physically fit and you're eating better, then you're going to start to bring other aspects into your life. I talked about this a podcast or two ago. If you strive to bring that positivity through your life, it's going to naturally move itself because you're going to want better things. You're going to want to have a more positive outcome in every aspect. You're going to find the places you're lacking, and you're going to attack them just like you've attacked every other thing. And pretty soon, you're going to have people around you that are leveling up and moving in the same direction as you, and you're going to surround yourself with better people. You're going to move away from all the losers and all the people in your life that are not acting in a way that is conducive to the success of you and your family and your friends and whatever organizations you're a part of. Guys, this is something that you have to do every single day. Even if it's something as small as complimenting somebody that you see every single day and you barely talk to, encouraging somebody, maybe at the gym or in some sort of avenue where encouragement is highly sought after but rarely ever received. Or maybe let somebody that is in your life know how much you appreciate them, even if it's just for doing the same daily actions that have become just kind of swept under the rug, part of the normal process. Show them that you appreciate it. Take the time to say thank you today to somebody. One way that I do this, and some of y'all are probably going to laugh at this or think this is dumb, but I think it illustrates this point very well, is what I do every time I see a penny on the ground. Guys, so what is the stipulation with finding a penny on the ground? We all know that if you find a penny, heads up, there's all kinds of different sayings. You put it in your left shoe, your left pocket, you put it somewhere safe. Whatever it is, you make sure it stays on heads up. Whatever it is, it's associated with that penny bringing luck and positivity into your life as long as you find it on heads up. That's why a lot of times whenever you see a penny on the ground, tails up, people won't go pick it up. But that's where I come in. That's where I like to go and see and find those pennies that are tails up. And you know what I do? I flip them over and I leave them on the ground there, heads up, so that someone else can find it and see that penny heads up and pick it up and think that they are going to have a positive experience from it. They are like, wow, I've got some luck in my life, and it generates positivity. And who knows if that little small thing that they find at the gas station or on the sidewalk or whatever could spark positivity that moves their life and their day in a positive direction. Guys, that is just a small, minute glimpse into how I spread positivity, but it's a huge glimpse into the mindset that it takes to generate this positivity and the things that you can do just on a daily basis. So guys, number 4 is give the gift of positivity to others. Then number 5, commit to your goals and your plan. In high school, we had a basketball coach that at the beginning of every season, we'd have a team meeting. We'd all be in there getting our early workout gear for the year, getting assigned lockers, all that good stuff. He would sit us all down on the benches in there, and he would have a conversation. And one of his points that he would drive home every single year, he would use a saying to drive it home. He would say, commitment is like being pregnant. You can't be halfway pregnant. You either are or you aren't. And that's 100% true. Guys, you've got to give yourself the best shot you can at being successful by not only coming up with a plan, but being committed to that plan day in and day out. Plan your work and work your plan. You have to do this every single day to be successful. And you've also got to set goals that are attainable for somebody in your position with your skill set, or goals that you can work to develop those skills so that you can actually achieve those goals. Now, guys, you've got to find a good way to accurately measure your progress towards these goals during your progression. You've got to find a way to accurately measure your progress towards these goals as you work towards them. What you do not want to do is start comparing yourself to others, especially on social media. You don't want to compare yourself to the guy that's doing the thing you want to do, who's driving a Tesla or a Lambo or the big brand new F-250 that you've always dreamed about having. You cannot compare yourself to those guys. They've got all the guns, they've got all the money, they've got all the girls. Whatever it is that they are showing you in that moment and on social media, know that they are not showing you the bad side of anything in their life. They're not showing you the negative situations that they deal with on a daily basis. Maybe their marriage is in shambles, or maybe they don't have a work-life balance. They neglect their kids because they're more worried about the material items that they have going on. They're not living the life that you truly want to live. They're living the fantasy that they can show you on Instagram. So don't compare yourself to the lives that you see other people having. Set your own goals, set your own metrics for achieving those goals, and strive every single day to achieve those goals. It's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. It's going to suck some days. It's going to be hard. You're going to feel like you're getting kicked in the butt at some point. And guys, That's okay. It's part of the process. That's part of laying that foundation and preparing yourself to be successful. You've worked through those issues before and you've conquered them. So the issues that you've had and you've struggled with whenever you've got $10 in the bank account, you'll know how to manage and you'll know how to deal with them on a larger scale whenever you've got 10 grand in the bank account. Guys, number 5 was commit to your goals and to your plan. That is one of the most important. But let's review through the ones that we've talked about. So number 1, take ownership for the things in your life that are not the way that you want them. Number 2, get stronger, smarter, and in a better position financially. Number 3, don't expect things that you haven't earned yet. Number 4, give other people the gift of positivity. Number 5, commit to your goals and to your plan. Guys, I challenge you to implement these 5 things into your life, because if you do, I think 2022 could be a year where you and your family and everyone around you grows in a super, super positive way. I think you'll be able to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself, the things that you see that you want for yourself in 2022, and you will discover a whole new level of things that you did not think were achievable before, but they are now within your grasp if you continue to do these things and push forward. At the end of 2022, you will be in a position that you have not found yourself in before, and it will be a fantastic position. Guys, move yourself from being a victim and thinking like a victim to being someone who thrives and loves to be in the face of adversity. Guys, remember, Shannon Alder has a fantastic quote, and that quote is, "You're only a victim to the degree of which your perception allows." Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning into this episode of the Next in Line podcast. Please check us out on our social medias at Next in Line Development, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Guys, check us out online, nextinlinedevelopment.com. Leave us a rating or review on Spotify. It definitely helps us out. Share this with some people that are like-minded. And remember to always be prepared for whatever is next in line.